Welcome to everyone who are currently logged in. Hopefully, you're in the right place for the webinar on developing a career in cybersecurity. Just bear with us for 1 minute and we'll just wait for everyone to join us. Get yourself comfortable, get a nice drink, cup of tea, unless if you haven't already got one. We'll just give it 1 minute. Okay. But I'm sure more will join us shortly. We have plenty on already, and welcome to today's webinar with IT governance. My name's Andy Johnston. I will be hosting and with us today, and I'll do a more formal introduction in a bit. We have one of our specialists, Nikolai, to talk us through options for developing your career in cybersecurity. Here we go, a lot more people joining us now. So hopefully you're going to get plenty out of this webinar. What we're aiming to do is give you some pointers, tips, starting points, next steps, ideas for your developing your career, whatever your starting point is. We do want some interaction from you if we can possibly get that out of you, if you've got the energy at 3 o'clock on a Thursday. So you can post questions. If you look in the top right next to the kind of human and message icon, you'll see a question mark. So do please post questions in there. I will make sure Nikolai or I answer them ideally before we leave the webinar. And in terms of anything else, I think that's about all I need to do housekeeping wise. Nikolai, can we just go through and look at the agenda for everyone? Not the agenda, my intro. So if you skip on one.
Yeah.
So just to start with, as you can see there, I'm Andy Johnston. I am the divisional director for the training division. That obviously means I look after all the kind of training for individuals pursuing or starting a career in cyber or privacy, or helping businesses upskill their teams and individuals to achieve whatever their compliance goals are. We run training programs globally and across quite an array of courses and styles. So I'm very keen on people doing well in their career. It's a big part of what I've done in my time. So hopefully I can provide some input into you through this webinar and post webinar as well. So you will be able to contact myself and or Nikolai after this if you want a chat to just dive into a bit more of your personal circumstance. And that is an offer for you if you feel you need it. I'm going to hand you off to Nikolai, who's going to present the rest of the things. So over to you, Nikolai.
Thank you, Andy. Hi, everyone. My name is Nikolai, and I am an information security professional and also InfoSec training instructor for IT governance. I've started with my information security career back in 2007. My background is third line desktop support, and I was at the time working for an energy company. So they were expanding their computer security department back then. So they offered me a role. And yeah, since then it's history. I've actually been working within the industry for the last 15 years. I've grown in progress from information security analyst to information security officer. And I've been performing those roles as global and local information security officer for global telecom organizations and also within the finance industry. I also work with BSI, as an information security assessor, and that's for ISO 27001 and CSA Star. And I also have certifications in ISO 27001, lead auditor, lead implementer, and as well as masters in cybersecurity. I think that's pretty much from me. Today's agenda, we're going to look at the key roles to start and aim for. Also transitioning from IT and armed forces or other industries. Number 3, it's from bolt-on responsibility for security to a dedicated role. And then key certifications and credentials most valued by employees, game changer career success stories, and last but not least, proven career pathways to get started in transition. So this is back to you, Andy.
Thank you. I've got Gershran with your hand up. Gershran, if you could message us in the chat if you're having any issues, that'd be brilliant. You can do that in the top right, just by the icon, question or chat message, and we'll try help you if you're having any technical issues. So before we get going, just some context, please, for Nikolai and I. We're just going to flick up a poll. So if you could flick that up for us, please, Trudy. The question is, how much cyber security experience do you have? So we have quite a few people on now. There's a lot more joined since we started. So please do just click what best reflects your experience level. Thank you. Yeah, we're going now. We've still got half of you to go. Couple more. There we go. We're at 75% of you. So before we get rid of that poll, we have a good range of experience, few or none, quarter of us on up to 2 years, so earlier in your journey, and then some with some really, substantive experience. We have someone on 10 plus years. Well done, you. Okay, so thank you for doing that. The next question is just really to kind of understand how you, so Nikolai, if you can go on to the next slide, what qualifications you have. So if you have any or of these, just select the most applicable or the highest attainment level you've got. Thank you. So we have some with no formal training. I think you're in the right place for that for sure. We have some auditors, 27,001 auditors. And we have a couple of you who've done CISP. Well done. That's no mean feat. Okay, looks like everyone's kind of progressed on that. So thank you. That's good. Good information for us to use when we deliver this. And if we close that and move to the next one, final one, and then we'll get cracking. So are you currently in a cybersecurity role? So select the answer that best fits. Okay, no, but hoping to transition, good. More as part of your role. We all need to learn more as part of our role, which is a key aspect really for most businesses. No, but you have some cybersecurity related. Yeah, we've got quite a few in that category as well. We've got a couple of cyber pros and quite a few of you, 25% who in cybersecurity want to advance. So excellent, good on you. Thank you. That's good context. We have quite an array of those starting out, those who have been to those who have been in the industry for a long time. Well done. Right, let's get going, Nikolai. Over to you. Talk us through it.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, on this slide we can see the cyber threats and the type of security threats for this year, 2025, you're probably already familiar and you're well aware that threats are becoming more sophisticated and frequent. They're targeting individuals, they're targeting businesses, even critical infrastructure. We've witnessed that probably a month or two ago, as far as I remember. Yeah, that was one of those big events. The whole UK was was on hold. So we see everything from phishing attacks on this slide, and ransomware that crippled organizations, right? So it's all about compromising personal and sensitive organizational data, like the most valuable to organizations. And that's why skilled cybersecurity professionals are so crucial to any business and to any country, any environment, right? Because they're the frontline defense against these cyber threats that we witness here.
Sorry, Nicola. A key point here for everyone is, you know, cyber professionals are so crucial, but attacks and attack vectors are ever increasing, and the ability for companies to counter that needs people, and there's a massive shortage of cyber professionals. So for those of you who are looking to start out, good on you. There are plenty of growing career options for you. And for those of you who are more senior, we need you to kind of help on the bigger stages, I guess, but also to develop and bring through others, because globally there is a huge skills shortage.
Yeah, spot on, Andy.
Uh-huh.
And here we see the cybersecurity landscape, right, that provides all that opportunity for growth and development and to step into a cybersecurity role. So this shows us the importance of cybersecurity professionals, right, and how crucial they are to every single aspect of our lives, professional and personal. So the cybersecurity landscape, it's dynamic and constantly evolving field, and is driven by increased reliance on technology and people. Yeah, as I mentioned, in every aspect of our lives. And this, however, brings significant risks that has to be managed. So let's take a look at some key cybersecurity roles that drive this field. Yeah, we'll highlight the skills, the responsibilities, and the demand associated with each. We start with a security analyst, and that's the first line of defense. They are responsible for monitoring security systems, detecting anomalies, responding to security incidents, and they need strong analytical skills, knowledge of security tools, and an understanding of network protocols. Their average salary, it's around 35 to 60K. And with more experienced analysts, the earning goes upwards, right?
Yeah.
60K plus. So there is a strong demand for cybersecurity analysts across the UK.
Sorry, Nikolai, just to accentuate on this point, we had a cyber analyst working for us, and obviously I know plenty of them, and those salary indications are kind of obviously always historical and not necessarily up to date, because it's always historical. Some of the salaries that are being offered are obviously in excess of the six-figure number for the bigger companies. So there really is a kind of an ability not just to get to a ceiling of 60, there is an ability to kick on. And that's this kind of similar point for the roles that Nikolai's going to talk through, is that opportunity to grow earning potential is there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it depends also where the organization is based. If it's London based, you're probably going to have more than organization that it's outside London, anywhere else in the country, actually. Yeah, so that is also a factor. I totally agree with you, Andy. Yeah. We have also security engineers that are on demand. Their role is to design, implement, and maintain security systems and infrastructure. So, for the purpose, they need expertise in network security, operating systems, and security technologies. Again, as we mentioned about the salaries, this is an estimate and it still depends, right? So, an average earn is around 50 to 75K. Yeah, with senior engineers maybe earning considerably more.
Yeah.
They're also in high demand, particularly those with the cloud security skills. Then we have the pen testers and ethical hackers. Um, they um, simulate cyber attacks to identify vulnerabilities, for example, and they also master systems and applications to be able to defend organizations. They wear different hats. It could be white hat, gray hat, black hat type of specialists. So they need to have very strong technical skills and deep understanding of attack surface. They earn an average of 50 to 80K, with highly specialized pen testers commanding higher salaries, right? So there is a high demand for skilled pen testers, and that demand is not going to um, is not going to stop. Next is the incident responders, and they're, if you will, the firefighters of cybersecurity. The demand is extremely high. They're in a very high demand. They investigate security breaches. They contain any types of information security damage that might have been caused to the organization and to the systems. And they aim to restore all the operations back to normal, right, in terms of information security. They need to possess quick thinking. They should have solving skills and knowledge of incident response procedures. So they earn on average around 45 to 70K, and the experienced responders, they highly sought after, so they're probably going to demand even higher salary. Then we have the security auditor. They evaluate security controls and processes to ensure the organizations complies with best regulations and practices. So they still need strong analytical skills, observational skills, right? They have to be a lot of attention to detail and a deep knowledge of security standards. So the average salary it's around 45 to 65K, and there is a steady demand of auditors, information security auditors, especially with the increasing regulatory requirements. Next, we have threat intelligence analysts. Um, they basically research and analyze cyber threats and to provide insights and help uh, organizations proactively defend against attacks. So they will need strong research and analytical skills, as well as understanding of malware and attack surfaces, also attack techniques, right? They earn an average of 55 to 85,000 pounds, and experienced threat intelligence analysts, obviously, they can demand higher pay as well. Next, we have cybersecurity architect, and they're responsible for designing and implementing the organization's overall cybersecurity strategy. They need a broad understanding of information and cybersecurity techniques, risk management, also the relevant business requirements. So they need to have a business acumen just a bit to be able to plug in those skills. They earn an average salary of around 70 to 100,000 pounds. Top
Or a
architects.
lot more. A lot more. This is one of those
Yeah.
roles where,
This is for when you start, I would say. But yes, with your career progression, you'll be earning way more than that. I'm
yeah,
sure that could be a double in London easily.
yeah.
There is a strong demand for experienced cybersecurity architects, and particularly those with the cloud and enterprise architecture experience. In terms of the skills and updates, we only touched on few entry-level positions, right? But there is a wide range of roles within cybersecurity, and each with its own focus and skills requirements, right? So, whatever you're interested in technical hands-on work, maybe analytical problem solving or strategic planning, there is likely a place for you in this field. So you can see the different skills that are very well utilized within the cybersecurity domain. And this is just a few, an example of what you can consider as skills that you might have and that you could plug in into your career move. So let's take a look at how existing skills and experience can align with these roles. Here we're going to explore some of the ways you can make that transition by highlighting the skills you might have and that are relevant, the relevant certification to those skills that might match them. So let's get started. Um, Transitioning into cybersecurity. So let's talk about how you can actually get your new upgrade, right? And this is what's going to come next. So the great news is that there are many pathways into this field, regardless of your current background, and many skills are transferable, and there is a strong emphasis on continuous learning in cybersecurity. So there will be a few examples that I'm going to bring now. If you are already in IT and you have a significant head start within the cybersecurity, information security field, because your existing skills, let's say in networking, system admin, database management, they can help. They can help you grow. Maybe even desktop support, right? Help desk as well. They're highly valuable in cybersecurity. As I mentioned earlier, I started from a desktop support myself. With an IT background. So, for example, if you have network engineering or networking skills, you then have understanding in network protocols, topologies, security devices. We're talking about firewalls, for example, routers, switches, right? So it's crucial for network security roles like network security engineer and then security analyst to possess that knowledge and experience. We can also look at system admin skills where experience managing operating systems, maybe Windows, Linux, whichever, and perhaps servers is essential for roles involving system hardening, vulnerability management, incident response, right? Also, we can think about the database management skills in the last section here, where knowledge of database security principles and practices it's important for protecting sensitive data, right? So to enhance your cybersecurity profile, we should consider pursuing certifications as to what we have displayed here on the screen in the likes of ISO 27001, lead implementer, lead auditor, CISM, CISP, CCSP, and there's Certified Ethical Hacker Foundation for 27001, Cybersecurity Foundation, Microsoft Azure, and CISM. So these certifications would validate your skills and demonstrate your commitment to cybersecurity. When it comes to the armed forces, veterans and those with military experience often possess valuable skills that translate into exceptionally well um, cybersecurity rounded roles. So the military environment emphasizes on discipline, on teamwork, on problem solving, yeah, and all under pressure. So that adherence to strict procedures, it's essential for the cybersecurity professions that and qualifications that we talk about. So this type of background is very appropriate and very helpful. So we're looking at here just a few examples of three specific military roles that align very well with information security job requirements. So the first one, it's communications and signals intelligence. And here, specialists from these roles often involve working with network systems, cryptography, electronic warfare, providing basically a strong foundation for cybersecurity roles like maybe cyber security analyst, network security engineer, maybe cryptographer as well. The next one is the military intelligence. Here, the experience in intelligence gathering, um, analysis, threat assessments. Yeah, this is highly relevant for roles like threat intelligence analyst or security analyst or certified ethical hacker and so on. The last one, the IT network specialists, it's from military personnel. The military personnel with experience in perhaps managing and then maintaining IT infrastructure, right? So they have direct pathway into the cybersecurity roles because it's very easy transition. So a military training and experience often provides a solid foundation in pursuing relevant certifications like the CISP and CISM or CSSP as well. Any of these will be very, very helpful and relevant. However, you might not be with an IT background or with a military background. So that doesn't mean you cannot transfer or move on to a cybersecurity role, right? You will also possess some transferable skills into the field of cybersecurity, information security. And think about skills such as analytical skills, right? Um, they would provide you with the ability to analyze data, identify patterns, and draw conclusions, yeah, which is critical for the threat analysis, for incident response, vulnerability management. So they're very, very important skills that are not easy to develop. And if you have them, you're blessed. So the next one's a problem solving. They're essential for all info security and cybersecurity professionals because we constantly face challenges that require creative problem solving. Looking at attention to detail as well. So accuracy is important for all tasks like security auditing or vulnerability scanning, incident investigation, right? That's very, very important. We can't be negligent or not being able to pay attention to the small print. Um, Next is project management, and this profession skill and background it's required for most infosec initiatives. For example, someone with experience in finance, um, someone with experience in project management could transition into cybersecurity project manager, right? And the key for this slide here is to identify and skills that you can demonstrate and also utilize and transition into your new profession. And here we have a few examples of courses and certifications that could help with this specific transition. So we're looking at ISO 27001 Foundation, ISO 27001 Lead Implementer, Lead Auditor, the CISM, and the CISA.
Nicola, can I just expand here a bit on a couple of things? Just drop back a slide. I think I've talked this week with a few individuals who joined the career webinar last week because, like I said, you'll be able to write to me and we can have a chat. In small to medium enterprises, MDs are increasingly relying on a smaller workforce, FDs, HRDs, or managed sales managers to contribute to the safeguarding of the business. And one of the aspects of safeguarding, obviously, is data protection and obviously things like cybersecurity. So, if you are in a business like that, take it as an opportunity to grow into maybe an additional hat. So you might have 2 hats or 3 hats, and that's what I found. More and more over the last few weeks and months is that people are getting multi hats. And the other thing to kind of get across here is your starting point. Obviously, we can talk to you about it if you're unsure, because it's where do you start with training, and that's part of this. 27001 is about providing best practice for a business to mitigate risks and control risks. The courses like CISM that you see there are more about management strategies, and it will refer to 27001 within that. So being unsure of your starting point or what direction to travel in, if you are unsure about that, remember we'll be available to have a conversation one-on-one to make that clear if it's not already.
Mhm.
Thanks, Nikolai.
Definitely, Andy. Yeah, those skills are not used in isolation, isn't it? They used in combination. But out in the real world, not everyone has all of them at the same time. Let's say someone is working in retail or customer service type of role. Yeah, they might have problem solving and attention to detail type of skills, but they might not have a project management skill. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it all depends on the background. But when we go into the information cybersecurity domain, we gradually start growing and evolving into the different facets of information security requirements for
I think, I
developing
think
personal and
the biggest point
professional.
here, Nikolai, really is if someone's got the ability to learn
Mhm.
ahead of them, um, applying yourself to learning this is key. So whether you've got any of these skills, if you've got the ability to learn something new, gain a new trick, then
Definitely.
it's a field that offers plenty of reward for applying yourself in that direction.
Expanding and growing, evolving, that's the name of the game, isn't it? If we're
Yeah,
staying still and not moving anywhere, we're left behind. We
that's right.
because the world is moving on, right? We can't
Very
afford
quickly.
to stay in one place. So I totally agree with you. My apologies.
That's all right.
So yeah, from Bolton to a dedicated security. Yeah, many people would start their journey, right, with information security as an additional responsibility within the existing role, whether you're with an IT background or any other role that might have required you to partially participate in information security projects, for example. Um, that could be a partial or a good experience for you to think about to capitalize on, right? Because um, organizations recognize the increasing importance of cybersecurity and they are creating dedicated positions eventually. If they don't have any, they open such. So, yeah, if you find yourself handling more and more security related tasks, it might be time to consider transitioning into a more specialized or dedicated security role, especially if you enjoy it, obviously, right? So if you like it, that's going to be the right direction for you. Um, so this transition often involves formalizing your knowledge by pursuing relevant certifications and training. Sorry. So as you can see, there are multiple entry points in cybersecurity. Yeah, whether you're um, from any of those points, you can actually obtain full ownership. Um, yeah, so let's talk about the diverse roles and pathways into cybersecurity. Um, in the way of how you demonstrate your skills and knowledge to potential employers. So certifications and credentials play a crucial role in validating your experience and making you a more competitive candidate. So in the cybersecurity field, where practical skills and up-to-date knowledge are paramount, certifications serve several important purposes. First is validation of skills, as you can see at the top here. So this validation of skills provides an objective measure of your knowledge and abilities in specific areas of cybersecurity. And then we have the industry recognition. Many certifications are recognized and respected by employers worldwide. And this is how you can demonstrate to them, to the employers, the commitment to your professional development when you're taking on industry recognized certifications and training, the likes of what we offer. Then is the career advancement, meaning that when holding relevant certifications, they can open doors to new opportunities and higher paying positions, which we discussed just a little bit earlier. And when it comes to meeting requirements, some roles or organizations may have some very specific conditions for the recruitment process and consequently for employment. So they might not consider you at all if you don't have the relevant qualifications or certifications.
Mm.
Oops.
Nicola, can I just pause you there and just there's a couple of questions come in that
Mhm.
I think worth asking them. You might want to answer it a little bit down the line, but given what's coming up next, I thought it'd be useful to just recognise these. So Russ has asked, so I'll give you both of them, and then maybe you can answer them together now or as we progress through here. So Russ has
Okay.
asked, with no IT experience, but with 27001 compliance experience, how much of a barrier is the lack of IT knowledge, and how can someone address that gap? So that was the first one. So
Mhm.
kind of coming from a no IT, and
Mhm.
then similar from Tyler. How do you transition from a help desk role?
Help desk. Okay. The first one, with no IT experience and knowledge, but background in ISO 27001, is that more specifically implementation or auditing? I'm not sure. Probably implementation.
Probably
Um,
implementing.
mhm. I would say from my career as an auditor within with BSI, most of the auditors were not technical, so they didn't have that much knowledge in IT. And I was actually called a technical auditor for some reason, right? But anyway, so it is possible to work in the field without having in-depth knowledge and experience in IT, but you have to have some basic understanding how IT operates and works, because ISO 27001 has set of requirements, especially within Annex A. If that Annex A is taken as part of the statement of applicability, then they have a domain that is specifically oriented towards technical controls, and we need to have some understanding how those controls operate. But you don't have to know the IT, all IT jobs under the, in the world. So you're able to operate 27001 certification or audit certification. That's not necessary. Quite often, you will require technical expertise that will be provided by another individual, right? So you don't have to know everything under the roof of the organization. So I would say yes, with time you should aim towards growing and expanding and learning gradually a bit by bit about IT. You don't need to know everyone's jobs, but you need to know just a bit enough to be dangerous, to understand
You
when they're
don't have to
talking
be
to
a specialist
you.
in all of the aspects, do you? But you do need a kind of top level, broad awareness of
That's right.
them. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
That's right.
transitioning from maybe like a help desk kind of role.
Help desk, would that be IT help desk?
I don't know, just a help desk. That's what
Yeah, I
that was.
think so. Probably IT help desk. Yeah, I mean, I was IT help desk. I started actually when I was working for that energy company. When I transitioned to IT, I started on the phones, and I was level one help desk. And there's level 2, there's level 3 as well. You're probably familiar, most of you, with how IT support works. So yeah, I actually started with the lowest role within help desk on the phones, and then progressed. Um, with It depends what kind of support you're providing and what types of help desk you are. If you're IT help desk, you probably already have some basic IT knowledge. So it should be, I think it should be fine. You should be able to do that. But obviously, you need some a learning curve, some more perhaps courses to upgrade your level of knowledge, your understanding of the domain, and then you shouldn't have any problems. Because I personally, I understood when I transitioned initially within the information security domain that my knowledge wasn't sufficient and I needed to put some effort into it and invest.
Good. Let's move on through the next few slides, and then we might have more questions which are similar, because it is a kind of standard kind of question, isn't it? And some of these we can take on one-on-one, like I say, and we have people who can advise after the webinar.
Okay. So here we have a good amount of information about different types of certifications. We're highlighting a few key certifications that you might want to consider when it comes to transitioning into a new role within the cybersecurity domain. It depends on your personal circumstances, requirements, what you fancy more, whether it's governance, risk, and compliance, or maybe a bit more technically oriented roles. It depends on your preferences. But here we're looking at, for example, the GRC type of roles, governance, risk, and compliance, when it comes to educating yourself in the ISO 27001 domain. So ISO 27001 is an ISMS, or otherwise known as Information Security Management System. And that is a standard where organizations certify against and then comply with in relation to information security risk management. The roles involved with the 27001 will basically specialize in compliance and risk management, and that will be in the form of implementation or auditing. So it can be a lead implementer or lead auditor for ISO 27001. But obviously, you need to start with the foundation and then move on to the next level. Then we have the CISM on this side here. So that is the Certified Information Security Manager, and is specifically designed for information security managers and those responsible for developing and managing an organization's information security program. So again, this focuses on governance, risk management, and program development. So it's a different way to manage information security. They offer the specialist certification, but there is no certification for organization. The organizational certification here, it's the ISO 27001. I hope I'm not confusing you, because you can have a personal certification on your skills, and the organization that you work for could be certified as well against relevant standards that they're willing to comply with. Then we have the Certified Information Security Auditor, or CISA. And this is tailored for professionals who audit, control, monitor, and assess an organization's information technology and business systems. Here you can demonstrate proficiency in IT governance, audit practices, ensuring compliance. So this certification is particularly valuable for those looking to specialize in IT audit and IT controls. Then we have the Certified in Risk and Information Systems Control, which is designed for IT and business professionals who identify, evaluate, and manage enterprise IT risk. It validates expertise in risk assessment, risk response, monitoring, also reporting. And it's essential for those who are focused on risk management and controls in information systems. And then we have a very popular one. Um, this is very reputable as well as all of the rest, but very popular. It is the gold standard, basically, right, for experienced security professionals. Um, and it's very appropriate for if you're looking for to progress within your career, and also if you're looking for executive positions. That's very valuable. So it covers a broad range of security domains, and it's highly regarded worldwide, very well recognized and accepted. So CISP emphasizes on the management and governance aspects of InfoSec. As you can tell, there's more learning time needed for this specific one. You can see the time required for each of the relevant certifications to be obtained. Last but not least, we have the Certified Cloud Security Professional. And this certification is essential for professionals working in cloud security environments. So this certification demonstrates expertise in cloud security and architecture, design, and also implementation. So let's unpack the roadmap that you see here by diving into the world of ISO 27001. So that's the gold standard for information security. You can see step one, we're looking at the certified foundation. This is your entry point, and you'll learn the fundamentals and the key terms and principles in the structure of ISO 27001. It's perfect for beginners or anyone needing a solid ground in familiarizing themselves with 27001. Then we have lead implementer. So this certification trains you to design and implement an ISMS from scratch. So you will master risk assessment, controls, compliance strategies, right? It's ideal for IT managers or consultants who are responsible for information security frameworks. Next, we have internal auditor, certified ISO 27001 internal auditor. So this is for, if you will, you can call them evaluators, right? We learn how to conduct internal audits, identify gaps, and then ensure that the organization's ISMS aligns with the ISO 27001 requirements. So we're kind of a control role within the organization for continual improvement and for gap analysis. So it's a crucial role for maintaining continuous compliance. Then we have ISO 27001 lead auditor, and that's the pinnacle of auditing expertise. As lead auditor, you will lead external audits, certify organizations and ensure global standards are met. It's what I have been doing for, what I have done in the past, for example, BSI. So this is for professionals basically aiming to work with certification bodies or as independent auditors or consultants. At step 5, we introduce the CISMP, CSSMP. Is a certification that broadens your understanding of information security management principles beyond 27001, right? So think of it as a way to gain more holistic view of information security management. So it covers a wide range of topics, including risk management, security policies, incident management, and so on. So it's ideal for those who want to deepen their understanding of the broader principles of information security management, and is a valuable component for step up from 27001.
I'll just make
It's
a
about
point or two here, Nikolai, and
Mhm,
if you don't mind, I'll finish the next couple of slides because
mhm,
we're running out of time. A key aspect here is for some of you, working with 27001 will be important. It'll be important because you want to use um, the controls listed within there, the best practice listed in there to reduce the risk within your business. Now, some companies, uh, especially smaller companies, small to medium enterprises, um, they don't always think about 27001. 27001 can be used for example, bigger companies to supply business, secure business. It's basically a badge which says you're doing a good job with information security. So once a company achieves 27001 certification, they've been checked by someone. So whenever you go for business and they say, we will only work with you if you're good at this, you're good at managing risk in general, managing your supply chain, managing information security, there's your badge, right? CISM is a foundational level information security course, like Nikolai said, and you can start there. I know it's listed 5 before you do anything else. So a point I want to make here is we're getting some questions around personal journeys, which is great. You've got my email in there, and I can provide either a quick response to your personal circumstance, or we can have a chat if you want and get more detailed with it. Um, just to cover off one or two good questions, and we might have to skip a slide or two, Nikolai, but I think these get the point across. So a question I've got here is: does the ISC squared certified in cybersecurity and the CompTIA Security Plus offer the same level of security knowledge as the Cyber Foundation certificate? Absolutely. Um, so ISC Squared have a CCS product, which is a foundational cybersecurity. If you have that, it's just education level. It's equivalent to the Cyber Security Foundation you see there. Um, so absolutely, and CompTIA Security Plus, again, it's foundational level qualification, a very good one I would recommend. I know we haven't got it listed here, but we do recommend it. Um, and within CompTIA, you have Network Plus, Security Plus. So those are good qualifications. The key here really is don't take another foundational course. Try think about what the next higher level course is. What are you aiming for? And where do you want to get to in 5 years or 10 years? So, a logical step really with uh, achieving foundational courses already is maybe the CISMP, which we were just talking about, and then a step forward into CISM or CISP, which are really the pinnacle levels. But you might also want to do some specialist training. So again, the career advice is a bit difficult. It's never too generic. It's never too straight line. Okay. Another question in here is how do you gain experience? I had a question. I've got a couple in here, so I'm just trying to tie them together to answer them. So Sandit, sorry for keeping you waiting on yours. I know you asked that earlier. Other ways to get experience within data protection bar within my current business. I can do the courses, but not getting actual experience. Well, um, mainly through supporting voluntary organizations or charities or social thing. Clubs need very light touch data protection protocols in place. The risk isn't necessarily big, so you can find clubs are a bit more lax, but you're still dealing with people's information. You can also join groups, discussion groups, and like-minded peer groups. So look out for those. There are plenty on LinkedIn, um, and actually kind of working with peers. You can talk about challenges and issues. within the industry, and obviously experience is built up a little bit by just tracking the industry and knowing around what are the threats that are current. You'll actually get a lot of that intel from signing up to our newsletters, because we'll tell you a lot of the stuff that comes through, and look out for some more of the webinars. But yeah, it can be difficult within your current business. I do have, a point Nikolai made earlier was about, you might have the chance to wear an additional hat, whether it's a small hat or it turns into a bigger hat, or the hat is just thrown to you from a distance and it's hot and they say, yeah, this is all your hat. You have all of it. Whatever situation you're in, just try and grasp the opportunity. So sometimes the opportunity won't be there today. It might be there in 6 months. It might be that your business isn't thinking about it, and you could propose that they do think about it a bit more, and you would be the lead. In which case you might need to go and get a bit of training to support that journey. But start with something. And if you don't have opportunities for experience, at least get the qualifications and keep your finger on the pulse in terms of what's going on in the industry. Some of our best instructors will say, I can teach you all this stuff in the book, like the books I've got in front of me on CISP, but I want you getting the latest updates and learning the words that are used in the industry. Colin, I've got your question here, and I think we might run out of time, so I think I've covered some of this stuff in here. One of the things around where do you go to find the jobs was a question, so I think I've randomly covered some of the things on this slide. But where do you go? The usual places: Reed, LinkedIn, Indeed. What you will find is if your profile on LinkedIn has your qualifications, you might be headhunted, and headhunting individuals with qualifications and not necessarily loads of experience. If you think about it, if there are not enough people with experience, then companies will look for people who are qualified with less experience. So at the very least, tick off your qualifications, because it puts your first foot through the door. I think we're going to have to wrap up fairly soon. So one question which we're going to have to be quick answering, Nikolai. It's not a small question either, sorry. How will continued integration of AI affect these roles in the future? What will be the positive and negative effects of widespread AI usage within cybersecurity roles? So before we answer that, I just want to point out, and that came from Colin. Thanks, Colin. That's a massive question. We did a webinar a week and a half ago, which answered that question for you. It was an hour long. There is no real short answer other than AI will not replace the need for humans. In fact, it potentially grows the need for human control and interaction, especially to kind of negate things. However, AI can be used to, you can develop policies or approaches through it, but you still need to know what you're talking about, because AI might get it wrong. So, like with any role in any kind of industry, it can provide some shortcuts, but not all of the cut. You need to still know what you're talking about to get the regulation right, because AI won't pay your fines for you. Now we are 2 minutes away from completing. So Nikolai, if we can just kick on the slide, so I make sure I tick off what we need to. If we go to slide 33.
33, yes, there we are.
Yeah, everyone, you'll get a pack once this webinar is completed. You can see there's extra info for you in there. I've shared my email with you if you want to just send me some questions, your situation. I can provide quick answers or arrange a quick chat just to help you along. If we go on to the next one, Nikolai, slide 34. For anyone interested in investing before, for this year, either through a chat with me or not, you will get access to 25% off any kind of training as a kind of thank you for joining this webinar, all you need to do is get in touch using the link there on that yellow tab when you get it, or talk to me and I'll arrange for the team to talk to you and get you a discount. So let us know if you want to access that. Given time has ticked over, I think we've answered plenty of questions as we've gone along. So I'm not going to pause for questions now, just so we can finish and move on. Nikolai, thank you ever so much for giving us your experience and your input. And for everyone who joined us today, thank you. I wish you the best in your career and your next steps. And have a lovely day. And hopefully we'll speak to you soon. Yeah, that's great. Everyone's giving claps and thumbs up. Thank you ever so much. Have a lovely day, everyone.
All the best.